Hi everyone, Grayson here and welcome to my channel. In today's video I've got a couple of projects I need to work on. One, I'm going to be planting up a menagerie of plants that I've picked up at my local garden center, and also I have a succulent arrangement that I need to create for a birthday gift. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and get after it. Okay everyone, here is my plant stash. I have a little small ficus tree. I have like a braided little miniature trellised tropical foliage plant, and to be honest with you, there was no tag on it that indicated what it was. I have various different succulents. It's going to go in my succulent arrangement. I have a eucalyptus. I have a bird's nest fern here. I also have some cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix. This is what I use in my succulent arrangements. It just helps with better drainage. Sometimes the potting soils can be a little heavy, and I have found that this cactus soil mix is great for succulents. It even says it on the bag. It's a Miracle-Gro brand. I also have some soil coverage. These are little natural pebbles. I have Spanish moss in case I want to use this to top dress with, and various different containers that I'll be using in today's repotting. So let's go ahead and get started. So to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and use this terracotta pot. Now there is a rather large drainage hole, so again, I'm gonna be using just a little tiny piece of burlap. And so we just drop that right down in the bottom of the container. I hope that you can see that. So let's go ahead and get this planted up. I think I'm gonna start with the eucalyptus first. So when I look at this, it's more of a blue-green, and this orange pot, kind of terracotta color, is really going to work well with this. Now this little mat that I have is kind of cool. I picked this up on Amazon, and it's a little waterproof mat. It just kind of contains all the dirt. And what you do are the sides unsnap, and it lays flat. You can lay it under your sink to catch water, any kind of thing that may spill. But I thought it would be great for a little potting mat. So I'm going to go ahead and just snap the four corners together. I think you can see that. Snap those together. And this will contain all of our soil. It's a bit breezy today. It's rather nice out here in growing zone 8A in North Carolina. So see how that makes a little tiny square? It kind of catches everything. If I spill any water, any soil, it doesn't make a complete mess. So let's go ahead and start with this. Again, I have my burlap in the bottom. You can use a coffee filter, a piece of screen, anything that you can find that will keep the soil in and the water flowing smoothly. We want this container to drain. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just using an all-purpose potting mix. This is the Miracle-Gro. And see if anything spills out, it's going to be on this mat. So I have never grown eucalyptus before. This is going to be really, really interesting, but I wanted to grow it, and of course these will be in the house this fall. I wanted to grow it because I wanted to start using it maybe in cut arrangements or in wreaths. Let's see what we've got going on here. Yeah, very nice. So if we need to pop any soil out, we just throw it on our mat. And you just want to create a nice well. You want to make sure that you have potting soil and mix pushed against the walls of your container. And we're just going to plop him right in there. Yeah, I've been meaning to get all these potted up for a while now. I've been kind of accumulating these plants for a little while. I have a little grocery store up the street from my house. It's called Lidl. I'm sure some of y'all have heard of it. Some people pronounce it Lidl, some people pronounce it Lidl. And they always have a plant selection. And of course, I can never say no. So I have been picking up little plants as I go. And there's the first one, that eucalyptus, perfect, just like that. So this will go in the house, and a nice bright window, probably a south or a west facing window, just with really nice bright light. We'll see how this does as a house plant, and then in the spring, when the temperatures warm up, I'll just bring it outside and put it somewhere down on the lower patio or someplace where it's going to get bright light and direct sun. So there's our first one. That's the eucalyptus. Let's go ahead and put this here. And I have saucers for all these. Next up, let's go ahead and get our bird's nest fern planted. I thought this would look great right in this container here. And again, these are great little house plants. I don't have a huge selection of house plants, but I'm starting to get my stash started now. So of course, this is just a normal drain hole here. It's nothing too large. So that's gonna be perfect. I like the color of this. It's terracotta, but it's been painted or glazed to where it has like a nice finish over it. I'm just going to prune off any dead leaves or leaves that aren't appealing to me. All right. I think the most important thing to remember is to always have good soil to root ball contact. Of course, you don't want to fill these containers so full that when you water them, they overflow and make a mess. So just like that, y'all, there's our bird's nest fern. So turned out great. Let's see, next up, let's do our ficus, our little ficus tree. So this drainage hole is pretty decent. It's not gigantic, so it's gonna be great. Hope you all are having a great day today. You know, we have a little remnants of the hurricane that has kind of skirted us here. We didn't really get a lot of, we didn't get really any rain at all here in Charlotte, so we were lucky. They were calling for a lot of rain and it just went right by us. So this is a small little ficus tree. I believe the name of this one is Ficus Audrey. Hello, doggy. It's one of my neighbor's dogs barking there. And this is just gonna plop right down in. You know, I've had ficus trees before, but they have been gigantic. Ficus trees, a lot of people don't like to grow them. They say they're really finicky and fussy. I never really had a problem with them. I think that they just required consistent watering. They also required, a lot of people say they don't like to be moved, but a lot of times I think people move them to a different space and they don't get as much light as they once did. And so the leaves turn yellow and they begin to drop off. But I had a ficus before that was just enormous, gigantic, biggest ficus I think I've really ever grown. And I'm gonna top dress all these separately in just a minute. Next up is this little petite 4-inch container of a trailing, it almost looks like a boxwood. This is a tropical foliage. I wish it would have had a tag with it to let me know. If you guys, if any of you all know what this may be, just drop me a comment and let me know what it is. But I just thought that it was great. It's on a little brass trellis, just in a circle. And I thought it was pretty cool. So let's go ahead and remove this top dress. It's just kind of a green moss. Nice root system here. Hard to believe it's already the middle of September. This year is racing by all of a sudden. Getting ready to go into fall. It's been a very hot, brutal summer for many of us across the country and around the globe. Sometimes you have to shift plants around a little bit to get them straight in the container. That's all right. Just manipulate those roots, that root ball, and shift it around until you feel good about it. So this does not have to be a long, drawn-out project. You can just jump in there, repot it, and away you go. We don't want to crowd a ton of soil up on the top of the root ball there. And there you have it. There's the little trellised one. I think that's really kind of cool. You know what? Let's go ahead and get these top dressed first, and we're going to go from there. So let's go with the eucalyptus first. This is just a small bag of Spanish moss I picked up at my local craft store. I may have even picked it up at Home Depot. I can't really remember, to be honest. It kind of makes a little bit of a mess, but again, this mat just comes in handy. So the moss is just going to finish it all off. Just gives it a nice top dress so you don't see all that soil. Just like that, easy peasy. It just gives it such a finished look. And you know, these make great housewarming gifts. These make great birthday gifts. Really any kind of occasion. Everyone loves a houseplant. Everyone loves to receive something that has been handcrafted or handmade. So yeah, anytime that you see any of these little plants around, pick them up, pot them up, top dress them with stones or, you know, colored pebbles or Spanish moss or bark or anything you can find, anything that you think would make a nice top dress, and take it as a gift. People will love this sort of thing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this one top dressed with the pebbles just so we can see what it looks like. Why not, right? Look at that, y'all. That just turned out great. So again, the pebbles really just kind of mimic the container, and it just makes a really nice top dress. Thought it was a little easier than having the moss with the plant being so frilly. So, and you know, since I liked the pebbles with these containers, I think I'm gonna go ahead and top dress this one the same way. Let me know some of your ideas that you've used for top dressing plants. Turns out great, doesn't it? And again, this will keep the soil in. It'll keep it from overflowing all over. Look at that. It's a mixture of warm and cool colors on these pebbles. And I think it gives it a really nice finished look. Looks perfect. There you go. There's another one. All right, and for the ficus tree, let's do the Spanish moss on the ficus tree because this is such a tight structure. The stuff does get a little messy, but once you tuck it in, boy, it sure does look nice. I almost like the ease of the pebbles, the rocks. This stuff's a little hairy. And I think once it gets watered in a few times, it'll all kind of settle in. And I just kind of tuck the edges down in so it's not stringy, because it does have a tendency to get a little stringy. I don't know. You know what? I've changed my mind. I think I am gonna use the pebbles on this one after all. After I thought about it, I think I'm gonna like the color of the rocks better. I don't know, I like the simplicity of it. I love the color of it. Like I said, it's kind of a mixture of warm and cool tones. I think it looks better with the pot and the plant. Let me know in the comments section if you like the pebble look for a top dress. I think it turned out really nice, so there you go. Okay, and up next is going to be our succulent arrangement. So I have this really cool little pot. It's like a wicker basket. It's got a nice little drainage hole in it. And we can probably find a square saucer, like an acrylic or one of the little clear plastic ones. It's got little padded feet on the bottom so it won't scratch your countertops. It's like a wicker look to it. Now again, for succulents, we're going to be utilizing this Miracle-Gro, this cactus palm citrus potting mix. It will even say great for succulents on the bag. Again, we use this because it's a faster draining soil. So succulents just really need fast draining soil. They don't like to be sitting in wet soil. So this light potting mix is very lofty, very light, and this is what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and fill this container up. Yeah, let me know in the comments section what you think about this mat. This is really cool. It just helps to keep, like I said, all the soil in. Kind of keeps from making a big mess. I kind of like mine pretty full. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be using this one. This is almost like a little bird's nest as well. And I'm not sure how I'm going to position this. I may put it in the center back. I'll have to think about it. I think I will position this one towards the back. Now this is not really a big time succulent, but it will work in this application. And if I need to pop this out, I will. Maybe just off center. How about that? Let's do that. Next up is one called Mount Everest. It's very tall. It almost reminds me of like a reef, like coral reef, like a fan reef that you see under the ocean. Very cool. We're gonna pop this one right back here beside it towards the back. So we've got a little bit of blue-green. We've got a little bit of yellow going on in here. Next up, this one's called Copper Tone. Now you can separate all of these out if you'd like. Break them apart, plug them in, little pieces here and little pieces there. I'm just gonna put them all in here together. Next up, I have one called Panda Plant. Let's clean off a little bit of this soil. I'm gonna disassemble this one. I think I'm gonna change some of these around. This one in the front is almost like a little jade plant, but I love this one. The blue-green and the margins are kind of like they've been singed or burnt. Let's take this Echeveria here. You just want to groom off any of these flowers underneath. And you can tilt the plants forward as well. You can tilt them. They don't have to stand straight up. You can tilt them. And that's what we're going to do here. changed my mind again. Okay everyone, here are the plants all potted up. We've got the one that I do not have a name for. We have the eucalyptus, we have the bird nest fern, and the little ficus tree, and the succulent arrangement that I'm going to use for a gift. I think they all turned out great. The top dress stones look amazing on them. Spanish moss looks great with the eucalyptus. I tell you, that blue green color just shines in this terracotta pot. Again, the pebble top dress and both of these look great. So hey y'all, so here you go. Here's all the plants all potted up, looking great. I'm thrilled with all of them. The containers, I love the top dress in all of them. I think the succulent arrangement there in the front is going to make a great birthday gift. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found something inspiring. And as always, thank you for watching Gardening with Grayson, and I will see you in the next video.